everyone. This is Ethos. Today, we're very happy to be joined by Dr. Jian. I'm Marjovie. This is Conrad, and Dr. Jian is the senior lecturer at the School of Biomedical Sciences at HKU, and he's also the program coordinator for the body donation program at HKU.
Hi guys, I'm Jian. Nice to meet you. A bit nervous, but hopefully this will go smoothly.
As I was reading your biography, I was quite struck by your role in the HKU body donation program, because as Ethos, we're like a platform related to medical humanities, so we're really interested in talking and learning a bit more about some of the stories or some of the ethical dilemmas or some of the challenges that you face.
So a human body donation, from the nature of itself, is always closely related to medical humanity and medical ethics. In fact, we collaborate with a Hong Kong U medical faculty medical humanity unit very closely. We used to run in collaboration with the medical humanity unit a course for MBBS program for medical humanity. So it's a very important and crucial aspect for medical education, which is medical humanity, and to start with experiencing human life and medical humanity within the anatomy dissection labs is a direct experience for our student to meet their first patient, to meet the true meaning of life and death for the first time. So it is, I would think, a milestone for a high school student growing towards a medical health professional. So yeah, we are heavily involved, and we're always willing to expand our impact or our influence on medical humanity education to the final goal is obviously making our medical doctors the best version of themselves and making them a doctor everyone wants to visit, even myself. So that's our goal.
And can I ask about what are your roles as a coordinator for the program?
Well,
when was it established?
Yeah. So this is a long story. Well, very long, in fact. So Hong Kong U Medical School start to accept for human body donation for medical education purposes since 1970s. So it's been there for a very long time. But through the years, from 1970s to around 2012, we only receive a very limited amount of body donation. Our medical education was heavily relied on unclaimed bodies that's supplied by hospital authority and the government. At that time, the number of medical students was also low. So we were able to manage our high quality of medical education, but that source is not stable, and we missed off a chance to also to add medical humanity elements to our courses. So since 2012, that is 12 years ago, we started our current Hong Kong U body donation program. And the program name officially is the Great Body Teacher Program, where we honor the sacrifice of the body donors and their achievement beyond the boundary of death to still contribute to the society as the great teachers to our medical students. So the Great Body Teacher Program starts at 2012, and we're growing from receiving 13 donations in the year 2012 to, at the moment, every year we have around 90 to 100 bodies received, great body teachers received every year. From 2012, we have a little amount of registered body donors to now we have over 10,000 registered body donors. So the programs grew a lot from 2012 to now, and really thanks to the support, obviously, and the sacrifice for the Hong Kong general public, also the support from the medical faculty. Another very important aspect of our body donation program is we dedicated the 3rd of March as the Hong Kong Body Donation Day. This is using the Chinese sayings, some but I think I could pronounce it. Hopefully pronounce it right. Some but is emphasize on extending your value or your contribution to the society beyond the boundary of life, a full circle of life. And it is true because our body donors, they sacrificed their most valuable possession, which is their body, and they extend their contribution to the society beyond their death. To honor that, we dedicate 3rd of March as our body donation day. During that week of early March, we have series of events every year to commemorate that day. And then not just that, but we also have different exhibitions and activities to promote life and death education, to educate the general public about the meaning of death, about the choices of afterlife, such as palliative care, green funeral, such as advanced health planning. We also invite NGOs, different government branches to come here, and also we invite students, registered donors, and also the donors' families, the families of great body teachers, to sit down, discuss, and have a forum open to the public to discuss about life and death. And we extend this also to the health literature, so that the general public know more about human body, the knowledge about human body, and knowledge of life and death. So I've been the coordinator for the Hong Kong Body Donation Program since, this year is already 3 years ago. But I've started to be involved in human body donation program of Hong Kong Human Body Donation Program from the first year when it started from 2012. Back then, I was one of the teachers in the anatomy teaching team, and back then we heavily involved in coordinating and also designing the activities of the body donation related affairs. But since taking the lead among quite challenging times, that time was COVID time. We did suffer from, we were affected by COVID as well. The number of donated bodies, because of the not because of the willing of donation, but because of the environment back then during a pandemic, the regulation, direct hygiene regulations in different hospitals, there's a lot of restrictions. There's a significant decrease of the body received during those years, but the number has since rolled back to the general number. Coordinating this program takes not just the passion, but there's lots of coordinations. Also, to how do I put it, to make sure the sustainability of the program, also to have public engagement, keep engaging the general public, as well as handling the logistics of the and the documentations of the body donations. We strongly encourage the potential donors to register, and also we try to emphasize on the informed consent, not just with the registered donors, but also their families. So even if you register, if your family do not agree, then we will respect the family's decision. So for a smooth donation process, we'll try to help our donors and not the donors' family to understand the importance and value of our body donation. So apart from that, reaching out to general public, integrating all these contributions of our general public to medical ethics and medical humanity education for our future generation of doctors is also very important. So that's been my experience in.
So circling back to the challenges that you faced in sort of changing public perception of the body donation program at HKU, how did you sort of deal with especially in a Hong Kong context, so perhaps the cultural sensitivities that are surrounding?
That's actually a great question. I mean, you'd be surprised with the answer though. Now, since the start of our body donation program, Hong Kong body donation program, we did a series of research, one of which was to had a public survey about human body donation. So the result was very inspiring and surprising in a very emotional and positive way, because back then our result was 80% of the Hong Kong general public, more than 80% in fact, knows about body donation. And more than 40% among this 80% of general population or general public, they were willing to donate their body. This is across all religion, culture, age, and gender. So we were very surprised. And you think that the Oriental culture may be more conservative, or as Chinese descent, we value the wholeness of the body, but we underestimate the noble will and the generosity of general public. So we never experience the shortage of donation. Instead, the challenge would be more towards the two aspects. First, how many great body tissues that we do need. We don't want to waste any resources. How many bodies we do need per year. Our donated bodies are mainly used in medical education for undergraduate curriculums, and as well as clinical research. On top of that, there will be clinical workshops that we open for the cardiac surgeons and these different aspects of the healthcare profession, for them running workshops, for example, to develop or training surgical skills. So these are the main purpose of our the great body teachers that we use. So there are certain amount that we need to use every day, and that we have our facilities, which is we actually just expanded our facility, renovated and expanded. So we now can store up to 150 great body teachers. So the amount of the body that we can receive and our team have the capacity to receive will be depending on how many bodies that we use every year, deducted from the 150 of capacity that we can hold. So, but because of the generosity of Hong Kong public and sacrifice of Hong Kong public, all of our human bodies that use in medical education are from donation, and we never experienced a shortage of donation. So for that, we're very grateful.
It's very interesting to hear. So circling back to just now, you're talking about the importance of informed consent in this program. So I was actually wondering what ethical considerations guide this program, as well as what do you communicate to the families?
So because human body donation is very sensitive in the sense of bioethics and medical ethics, and it's a huge issue globally, not just in Hong Kong. And in fact, in Hong Kong, we have probably the most efficient but most ethical procedures. Comparing with Europe, especially comparing with the US and also the Southeast Asia, I think our regulations are very strict. Our regulations is based on the with the same principles as the organ donation principles. And on top of that, our bodies are strictly used for medical education and medical research. We will inform our donors and donors' family how we use it and how long we'll be keeping it. If they agree for us to use part of the body tissue to make permanent, for example, not permanent, but for example, the human tissue specimens for the student to study in a prolonged period of time, we'll ask the additional consent. Or if we want to digitize some of the human body tissues, they will also ask for consent. But generally speaking, we'll receive the body, and the body will be processed and used within 2 years. And at the end of that 2 years, the body will be cremated. And the ashes will, if the family so choose, we can scatter the ashes in our memorial garden in the cemetery, or we send the ashes back to the family. But the situation in other countries may differ, because it is strictly prohibited in Hong Kong and in our program to profit or sell or buying any human tissue and human body. And it's strictly prohibited to transport human body across borders. In fact, not just across borders, not even across the buildings. The designated building that we can accommodate and use our great body teacher, the bodies, is in that building, the laboratory building of 21 Sasson Road. So we're not even allowed to freely to use the bodies in other buildings. And also the transportation is also strictly regulated. Has to be a licensed mortuary to arrange transportation service directly from the hospital to our lab. So everything is closely monitored. But in other countries, in the Europe and in the US, in some states in the US, selling human bodies is actually legal. And they have theme parks or this sort of museums that publicly display, not completely for education purpose of human body. There's human body trafficking from different continents to USA. So I'm actually sitting in the American Association for Anatomists human body donation committee. So one of our duties is to make the best practice document and setting guidelines to regulate and to promote medical ethics in the line of the works in human body donations, and then giving guidance for other human body donation programs. So rest assured, we are at the forefront of the regulations and informed consent in terms of body donation in Hong Kong.
I think that's a very interesting aspect. So you're on the board as well.
Yes.
So do you help oversee like the American ones? American.
It's actually an international force, although in the American Association of Anatomy, the majority of the board members from America. That's understand. But we do have me and other colleagues will come from bringing the international perspectives, bring different experience and different information, regulations, and the latest emerging issues from around the globe to make sure we provide inclusive suggestions, advices to the body donation program, to the medical education stakeholders, and to the AAA. So that's an abbreviation for the association, as best as we can about ethical concerns, about legal concerns of human body donation, and how can any institution or any groups running an ethical human body donation in a ethical way, basically, according to the best practice. So but we do not have any power over anything. We are a advisory board, giving advices, sometimes coming up with a media statement, for some emerging issues or like emergency issues. For example, for past couple of years, there were several quite big scandals about in the body donation and human misuse of human body tissues across the world, in the U.S., in mainland China, in other places, and we also advise the different associations how to respond to those issues. There was just a big news broke out yesterday about the illegally use of human body remains in mainland China, where thousands of body was stolen, and then body tissues were used for producing bioproducts. We are closely monitoring that, not as the board member, but also but as the medical educator and as the body donation coordinator. And then we will use those events to improve as the back example, and to improve our policies to prevent those from happening, and advise other programs to prevent this from happening in the future.
Awesome. And I see like there are these type of challenges when you're dealing with human tissues. Do you have any like foreseeable futures that are like in the future, especially let's say like in an increasingly digitalized world? Are there any issues or potential aspects that are getting more and more relevant?
Yeah, well, that's a very valid question. Well, I happen to be is the deputy director of educational technology in our medical faculty, and my special field is actually, as you guys may know, is the virtual reality and digital anatomy, digital human body. So I'm basically the coordinator for the real human body and the digital human body in our faculty as well. I think doesn't matter whether it's now, in the past, and in the future, learning medicine, learning medical knowledge, authentic real human body is always the best, and it's always the correct way or the most appropriate way. I'll talk about that slightly later. But we have a saying, the reality is better than virtual reality, because reality is reality, and that you do not work on virtual patient, you work on real patient. So, but that being said, digital technology, virtual reality technology, now AI, these are the emerging technology that can revolutionize the way how we learn, and can emphasize and enrich the learning experience. So our curriculum in Hong Kong U, that's our principle: learning from real human bodies, the great body teachers, because this gives you the authentic knowledge from the real body structures. You learn from your first patient. Your first patient is the great body teacher, from their real body, the real human tissue. But not just that. More importantly, as a medical student, when you entered the medical school, it was until you experience life and death firsthand, until you touch the real human body, that you realize that yourself, that you are a medical professional in the future, and that you are in the making. I still remember that first day, 1997, some years ago, as a medical student. I was that day when I first stepped into the dissection lab and see human body. That experience made me realize that this is for real. I'm going to dedicate my life to save lives. And this, not entirely, but this plays a very important role, and all the experience that made me who I am, a medical professional and also a medical educator. From the feedbacks and from my observation from our medical students through the first 2 years of interacting with the real human body, and the changes happening in them as well, made them more empathetic, made them a better version of themselves. So, as I said, digital technology is always evolving, always developing. In fact, the speed is picking up recent years, especially AI and virtual reality, like Apple Vision Pro. We're running probably the most comprehensive virtual reality and digital anatomy dissection in any medical school in the world. We use this for the student to understand very difficult concept, as we just discussed before. So some structures may not be well preserved or be too tiny and too hard for the student to observe in real human body. And lots of this complex anatomical or structural relationships, 3D relationship is really hard for the student to comprehend. Virtual reality is the perfect platform. The first, now you guys are all digital generation, right? This motivate the student to learn, enhance their learning experience, but more importantly, this helps the student to understand the 3D visualization, to enhance their 3D visualization of human body structures. So after that, you walk into the body, literally you can magnify the body so big you can walk into the structures, for example, inside your cranial cavity, looking at the brain from different angles, going through all the foramen and holes and following the nerves and arteries through its passage, which sometimes may not be easy to see in a real cadaver, in real human body. But after learning from the digital technology, when you step into the dissection lab and start dissect and your learning process through the real human body, your time will be much better used. It will be much more efficient. And to be honest, this is the more respect way of learning medicine from real human body. You come always prepared. You know what you're doing, because this is so valuable sacrifice from the general public. And this is also once in a lifetime experience for medical doctor. We make tremendous effort from the general public, also from the university, to make this happen. So all these taken together, it is not just a lesson to learning human structure, body structure, but also it provides a very comprehensive experience for the student to learn how to be a doctor, how to be a medical professional.
Is there anything else you'd want to comment on, like on your body donation program or like your medical education or anything about it?
We would really want to enhance or develop our relationship with the medical humanity unit. We are planning many collaborations, because this is a great opportunity for the student to learn medical humanity, ethics, and professionalism through our activities of the body donation program. In fact, previously we have many activities related with medical humanity. For example, we have Death Café. Back then, students sit together with our doctors and staff talking about life and death and medical humanity related issues over a relaxed period of time environment, over a cup of coffee. Like, that's why it's called Death Café. We also have the events where the student and the teachers will paint their body shapes and paint their imagination, paint their concept, the image that in their head on their own body shape, about life and death, for them to reflect on the meaning of life. Events such as concert related to human bodies, art related to human body, and we also hosted before a movie premiere for body donation related movie that was produced by a director and university in Taiwan, and we held the movie premiere in Cyberport with celebrities joining, and then after that we have a discussion forum. That was a quite great experience. So all these efforts was to teach the general public, or inform the general public, and also as well as our student, the meaning of body donation, the meaning of life and death, and to improve the health literacy in the long run by increasing the general public's of knowledge and awareness of health and disease and life and death, also by improving the professionalism and empathy of medical doctors. So where you have a general public with more medical knowledge and more sense of life and death, and you have more empathetic group of doctors, our goal is to combine this together, provide better future in healthcare in Hong Kong. So other things for our body donation program is we are expanding our impact, bringing our achievement and best practice regionally, but as well as on a global stage. Our experience of body donation and medical humanity education was shared and will be shared across globally in different conventions, international conferences, through publications, also through participating in the work such as the American Anatomy Association's committees to bring positive influence to the field, and hopefully to bring a better future for globally as well, rather than just in Hong Kong.
This is a more personal question, I guess. What would you say is the meaning of life and death?
A fulfilling life. I think depending on the backgrounds of everyone and the family, the environment, everybody will have a different question. Some may want to be very successful, powerful, having great family with children. For me personally, I want to do something that is tangible, that is good, that I will know, because the world, bad things happen every day. Politically, militarily, there's war, there's political conflict, there's riot at the moment happening in the UK, there's recession, regional crisis. In this new age, with all the emerging technology and the emerging issues, sometimes really hard to pick a side or to position yourself in the society. But I think as a medical professional, healthcare professional, you don't need to worry about that, because it says very clear: to save lives, to make life better. And that's something extremely, tremendously rewarding. And to be able to cultivate the best of medical healthcare professionals in the future, I'm not only greatly honored, and it's a huge responsibility for me as well. So I think that's a life fulfilled, and for that I'm very happy. The choice I made, and then the work I'm doing, and for you guys, I'm really happy that you guys, they're appreciating our works and then thriving in our program and on the way to become the best doctors and best medical professionals.
Thank you so much for your time. We're gonna wrap up Shing.
Really, anytime. I mean, it's a pleasure. It's really an honor to participate. First, when I heard that you will have a series, first of all, Ethos is a very cool name, very Greek style name, and because it embodies a lot of meaning inside, and these student-initiated interviews was really valuable, and it makes me to reflect on my practice and then the meaning of my life as well. So thank you.
So much for your support.